Hello, everybody. I got a few things to say. Um, there's this channel called Living on a Dime. I'm telling you, the woman is so gruff. He gets angry at people for asking, certain things and this and that. If you don't go with her program, she kind of gets disgusted. Um, my problem is that I'd like to know. Uh, where it says in the Bible that Jesus appears at the Wailing Wall in the last days. Where does it say that? I'd like to know where she gets her religion from. Also, she was also explaining how those she believes how those cows died or thinks she's an authority. There's this farmer, he's a kid. I mean, he's got to be in his 20s. Driving a tractor saying how they died and this and that because of some stupid atmosphere, all of a sudden the temperature rose and this and that and they all died. Well, I lived in Kansas when I was a young kid. My stepdad worked on farms. That's how he did his living. He milked cows. And he's worked around pigs and chickens and stuff like that. And he also took care of the family farm when his parents died. But I lived in Kansas, and by the way she was describing it, it's not the same way I describe it. She describes it like you know, there's no rain, and even this kid said that he's never seen a tornado in Kansas. But let me tell you something about what I know of Kansas. First of all, you got cattle. I don't care if it's a freaking whatever they call it, a feeding place or whatever the heck it is. Most cattle that I know of that are on farms and ranches and all that stuff, when there's a storm, and this was supposed to be after a storm, well, they don't get no rain there either. But this is what this farmer said, that this was after a storm. When I was a kid, my aunt and uncle had a farm too. And most of the cows and whatever would trek up to the barns and stuff, and not be out in the open like that, stuff like that. And as far as them dying of heat stroke, Kansas, now by what I can remember, was not that humid. It was dry. I mean, I remember the field would catch fire just by the sun, and we'd have to go out and put them out. But most ranchers and stuff are going to make sure, because they're selling these cows, selling these for meat, they're going to make sure that they're going to be all right. That's just a fact. And I do not remember cows dying like that ever. Um, I'm not an expert, but I've been around the farms long enough to know that there's something wrong there, because that was out in the open. And if those farmers out there are doing that type of feeding where they're on a thing of cement or it's hotter than hell, that's inhumane. Now, I could see if it was in a stockyard and they got struck by lightning. Now, that happens. Get struck by lightning. But I've never seen them die like that. I don't know where she thinks he knows that, or this farmer, this kid thinks he knows that. But, you know, my stepdad was like 20 years older than my mom, and he took care of the family farm and stuff, and knew a lot about animals. I mean, I had inherited a wild baby bunny. Its eyes were still closed, and my bunny was the only one that survived because my stepfather kept him alive. And when I moved, I finally let him go. But yeah, that there's something suspicious there. I don't care what she says. And as far as thinking she knows everything about everything, my mom had 6 kids, and my stepdad, and the only thing we had was my dad's Social Security, which wasn't much because he died. So we had Social Security with my dad, plus my stepdad's money. And it wasn't a lot. You know, most of the farms that we worked at, or he worked at, they had houses and stuff, so we stayed in one of the houses. But yeah, with 6 of us, it was hard to feed. But we ate biscuits, we ate gravy, sometimes just potatoes. Um, we switched it up in different things. Um, that's where I learned the chip beef gravy. And there's a lot of things like cowboy beans, but my daughter calls them hamburger and pork and beans. Or you can use baked beans. Things like that. But as far as this wailing wall thing, I've never heard that in my life. Another thing that really gets me is on the news I heard these people are coming out of the broom closet and they're pagans and they worship idols because, you know, and they try to make light of it because they worship, I don't know what they called him, but the one underground, you know, people are afraid to die and that's why we do it, you know, make some excuse up. Yeah, right, I ain't scared. You know, and then you got the Rainbow Coalition. You know, people, you guys are gonna keep messing with it and messing with it. If you think you can say hail to whomever you want below, but let me tell you something. It's the person up high that's going to really do the damage. You know, if you wanted to right now, you could destroy everything. You just don't believe that, but believe me, I know. Um, but yeah, I seen that them talking about that and making a big deal out of it on the news. They showed a little triangle, like Jonathan Kleck triangle necklace, and all that's what they call them. Druids. What was the heck the other one? Somebody used to talk about it all the time. That he was one, but did it sure. And then they said something about, you know, trying to make light of the idols and stuff like that, and what the idol or the person that they have, the statue they have is not an idol. But let me tell you something. Where have you been? And you know, another thing with this Jewish thing, you know, everybody thinks this thing, though, like the Wailing Wall, all this stuff right there. Now, when Jesus came back for the Christians, he was here for us. Now, through the whole Old Testament, most of those people were Hebrew. most all and most all of them were. And if you look in the Bible and you read the Old Testament, you will see, I mean, even look at Noah, you will see how many people would go back and then disregard God, would disregard Him and make mockery of Him, and disregard Him as being who He is, and forgetting because they wanted to have fun and all this other stuff. Look what happened to them. Even when Moses was going across all that stuff, God parted the sea. And every single time they'd start whining. They'd see these miracles, and then after a while they'd start whining. And so, and they even got Moses in trouble. But, yeah, and they disobeyed him too. Disobeyed God then too. And he was right up there in the mountain. And Moses came down and seen him doing all that stuff. And then you got Jesus. And when Jesus came, the Jews hated him. The Sanhedrin. What do you think the Sanhedrin is? Sanhedrin is the leaders of the Jewish faith, or the Talmudic Jews. And even Jesus then knew, because they says to him something about being gods, and he says, isn't it written in your scripture? Your scripture, not his, that ye are gods. And he's even called them, said that they were like their father, the devil. Yeah, and they did not like him. They said he did bad stuff. He was a sorcerer. He had demons. He had this. He had that. As much as he suffered for everybody. I can't blame him for gonna be angry. It's not because people don't know, it's they want to ignore the fact. They want to live for the today. They don't want to think about tomorrow. But listen, tomorrow may not be here. People got to realize that fact. I've been working very hard to get my sister from being held hostage in a hospital. Me and my sister and my brother, my little brother, and we're the only ones that call her and stuff like that. And we can carry on a conversation with her and see that there's nothing wrong with her. But I also got the paperwork printed out that I got from the law depot on mine here, and it's for a patient's advocate. So my brother faxed that to him, and it says that I have the rights to take her out of the hospital and put her into another institution, that is a lot better, because this institution is one of the worst institutions I have ever seen. And it makes me want to go there. But, yeah, I've got that done. And that paperwork done. And there's nothing my sister has that, it's not about money to me. It's about getting her the help treatment that she needs, and to be able to live free with what little time we all have. You know, we're not getting to be spring chickens anymore. You know, and it's not fair that she has to suffer while others, you know, are worse than her get let out. It's wrong. But I just had to share that with you. If you can tell me about the Wailing Wall and Jesus appearing there, show me where it says that in the Bible. No, I don't remember saying it. And also the thing about the cows, I believe there was something strange there. Because if those cows were out there right in the open after a storm eating on concrete, then it's abuse. I've never seen anything like that in my life. You know, there's something wrong there. Now, it didn't look like it was kind of stormy when they were laying there. They looked like their legs were sticking up in the air. I wouldn't put past anybody to do anything bad. And some of these farmers are selling out, so uh, I get my sources from certain people, you know, and people that I feel I can trust. But with that said, I want to say stay safe out there and be mindful where you go, you know, when you're out and about and stuff like that. And because of this ordeal with the RV Wade, there's another headache in all the craziness that's going on in this world. You know, baby food shortage and stuff like that. My great granddaughter was born yesterday. She's in ICU right now. She had fluid on her lungs. Her mother's got had diabetes since she was 10, so they'd take her early and stuff like that. But as far as I know, she's doing all right. Um, but see, you know, that I worry about that, the baby formula and stuff like that. This is on purpose, and it's a disgrace. And if you know, like they were talking about the abortion rate, and here in our state it's like 55% or something are black women. You know, I would be insulted if they said that, because of the fact, if they knew what was done back when I was younger, and what people said and stuff like that about people of color, you know, I would be insulted. But anyway, it's just a disgrace. But with that said, God bless you all. Stay safe out there. God loves you. He truly does. And peace and love. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.